Greetings everyone, Bear Tracker Nature Films here, and today I'm near a field. You can see the field out there, and this trail right here has been made by black bears going down to the field to eat grass. There's a scat right at the base down there. Which isn't too easy to see here because there's grass in the way, but anyway, I'm going to go up the trail here. So the bear's trail here is pretty good and very well defined, and I want to come up here and find a place to place a trail camera. Let's see what I find. Here's your first piece of real good bear evidence. There's two different scats here, two different ages. There's my foot for size. And then right here, a couple more scats, also made all of grass, and that's on this well-defined trail. Now this trail is used by bears as well as deer, but primarily right now the bears are feeding on the grass, and that's what their scats are made of. So there's some evidence right there. Let's see what else is up here. So right here you can see a trail where the bear has been placing the feed in the same place each time. Notice the flattened area here, as well as here, right there, right here. See how it's all flattened? Deer feet don't do that. That's done by bear's feet. So this has been a regularly used pathway. Notice how those marks alternate. Right, left, and so on. Now there's a split here where two trails come together. So the trail here on the right goes right over there and goes up the hillside. Probably going to be where the bear has their bed. And then this left one goes right up through the poison oak. Oh joy! All that stuff is poison oak. I think I'm going to cut around and pick it up there by that tree so I don't have to go through the poison oak. Okay, so here's the bear's trail on the other side of the poison oak. Once again, notice how carefully placed feet have made rounded depressions in the ground as the bear walks here over and over. I had to avoid all that poison oak, but the reason the bears aren't using this one is it's still pretty wet. Very wet. I sunk into my ankles. So there's the bear's trail. This section of trail also shows very well-worn footsteps into the landscape. One after the other, alternating right-left. Heading up that way, underneath the tree here. For size, there's my foot. So as the bear walks through here, places its feet like this. See the worn areas? Notice where my feet are going right into those little worn circles. Perfect little bear trail here. And it goes right across that bush right there and up into the forest. Bears use these trails repeatedly, and part of their scent marking is stomping their feet because they have scent glands, and it leaves scent behind so that other bears know they're around. Now in here, you can tell a large animal has passed through because the branches are all broken out of the way. But look at these well-worn places right there. Those are huge. There's another bit of evidence, a black bear scat, also made out of grasses and vegetation. And I'm still following the trail, but for some reason the bear left that off the trail. See the broken branches, and still there's little flattenings here and there. There's a pretty good flattened area. So this is still our bear's trail. See the flattening right here. Soil's really flat. Leaves have been crushed. Right here you just see it in the leaves, where the leaves have been crushed. Same thing here. Crushed leaves. It's heading up this way. Now here you can again see alternating right, left, and so on up that hill. Notice where my feet naturally want to place is right in those little steps. And it goes on up there. Here we are further up the hill. Again, the trail becomes more clear here because there's more exposed soil. But it's going to the right of that little tanoak tree. So here next to this tree, the tanoak tree, the trail gets obvious again. And that's probably because this is a little bit more moist soil here. But you can pick out the trail all the way up the hill, because this is a steep slope also. Okay, now the trail is heading in this direction. Notice that where I place my feet are the little flattened places that the bear has made. All the way on up here. See that? All those disturbances here indicate that's where the trail goes. And it goes right through there. Now we're on a really well-worn pathway here. Should be really easy to see this. Goes right past this tree up here. And there's a lot of worn area around the tree, which indicates the bear has probably been rubbing its back on the tree. We'll keep going this way. Odd choice of path, but look where it goes. Right through there. I don't know why I didn't go that way, but there's a reason. It probably has a bed up there, so we're heading for the brush. So in this open area would not be a good place for that. But see how it goes up here into this more worn, more dense with brush area. Could be where the bear has its bed. Okay, what I discovered is there's a split trail there. So the one that goes through that brush, I decided to give up on that one because this looked a little bit better. And this one has way more sign on it. So more usage. And you can again see all the areas where it's got worn circles in the ground. See up ahead there, to the right of the redwood. So there's a really beautiful section of trail right here. See how well made this trail is. Your feet just seem to want to go. Right there, right there, right here, wherever the bear has stepped. Because they make such perfect little tracks. Perfect little trails. So here's the trail. And here's a bear scat. And then the trail heads off that way. But the bear stopped to leave another scat right here. So even though the light's kind of dappled in here, you can see the trail quite well. Some old rubbing sign on the tree from a deer. We're still on that bear's trail. It's really deep right here. See the deeper holes, deeper depressions. Look how deep those are. Probably a good 3 inches deep. And you can see them going all the way up there. Past this tree, which might have been rubbed on by the bear. See all those well-worn circles? Going right up there. More perfect bear trail. Everywhere your foot wants to go, there's another spot. And these are from both feet, because when bears walk, front foot leaves the track, then the hind foot comes down there. That bush in the middle there might be a straddle bush. They tend to straddle bushes as they go, and they'll deposit urine as a scent marker. So we've been coming up this mountain here. I wanted to show you how far down it is. Straight down there. Long ways down. Bear's trail is going that way. And there, just to confirm we're on the right trail, is another scat. And here's a really nice section of trail here. Now look how wide this is here. From here to here, a lot wider than it has been. They do this when they're doing what's called stomp marking, usually near one of their marking trees. But look at how very deep those footprints are. This shows repeated use of this trail. Over and over and over. They will walk back and forth in what trackers call a ritual marking, because they're marking scent on things. So this, look at the vegetation that's been knocked down. So you know a large animal has been through here. So now, we're right on the edge of that drop-off, and coming through here, and it looks like, let's see, again you can see the damage to the huckleberry plants that indicate a large animal has been through here. All those have been trampled. Some of them even deliberately bent over. So, from here, the bear could go uphill. There is an old marking tree over there, or it could go downhill. And it looks like our bear went downhill. I'm not going under that. But one thing you can see here is some marks on the tree made by the bear. Let me refocus the camera. So often bears will reach up and just swat at a branch. Nobody has come up with an explanation why. Some trackers call it whammy trees when they really damage them and knock them over. But you can see that a paw was swatted here and there on this tree. And this is a manzanita, which is a super hard, dense wood. And so it's not going to make much of a mark. But if you have claws, you can really hit that hard enough to make a mark. I can't scratch it with my fingernails. It's not, that's really tough bark. But a bear has real claws. So the bear has been going under this tree, because here's his trail. It goes down that way. So as he goes under, he just takes a swat at the tree and leaves claw marks. And he's been doing that for a while. Many years ago, I'd say about 8 years ago, I had a camera over on that other scent marking tree, and I saw the bear do this to this tree. So let me go over there and I'll show you that tree. So this is the tree that I was telling you about. This used to be on the trail about probably maybe 8 years ago, and the bears would come up here and scratch it, and you leave their claws, scrape the bark, they'd bite it, and they'd shred the bark off. But they haven't used it in a while, because you can see how the rounded edges are happening here. That means the tree is healing. So this is a redwood tree, a coast redwood, and they're pretty good about growing back and surviving things like fires. But you can still see markings that were made by the bear's claws and teeth. And here's probably a claw mark. So they really do a lot of damage to trees, but they don't always kill them. So notice how this bark is all rough. That's because the bear was rubbing its back on the tree. And they do that also to leave scent, maybe to relieve itching too. But bears use this as a signpost to other bears. So they will mark by rubbing their backs on trees. So this is old sign. This is not on the current bear trail, which was over that area, and it actually is going down an old logging road, and I know that goes way down into a steep canyon. So since I'm losing daylight, I don't want to go on that right now. But I'm going to find a place up here to set up the trail camera, somewhere on the current bear trail. Right now I don't see any sign here that this is being used, so they're probably not going to come back and mark on this tree again. We'll see what I can find for a setup for the camera. So in this portion of the bear's trail, you can tell that it's also been used by deer because of the sharper edge. See how part of it has kind of been cut into the landscape. So that helps tell that deer have been using this trail as well, because they have hooves, not soft feet. So their hooves tend to cut more into the soil than the bear's soft feet do. Okay, we've come all the way back now. There's a camera here. There's the scat. And here's where a bear came up to that trail from this field of lovely green grass.